Life doesn't always go according to plan. Sometimes it breaks you. After a training accident left me paralysed from the neck down, I had to rebuild my body, my mind and my life. I'm Ryan Curtis, and every episode we dig into the chaos that shapes who we become. Before we get into the episode, it would mean the absolute world to us if you could follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're currently listening to this on. For you guys, it's just a small click of the button, but for us, it's absolutely huge to reach a wider audience. Thanks and enjoy the episode. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Made in Chaos with me, Ryan Curtis. Today we're joined by Cheryl Lyons, an entrepreneur who turned her love for makeup into multiple successful businesses. Cheryl, how did you go from doing makeup for friends to running multiple businesses?
So it did, like you just said, started off doing clients. I was actually working in my ma's apartment in the sitting room, doing makeup clients. I was after doing like a makeup qualification in LA College of Creative Arts. And I got really, really busy doing makeup clients on the weekends, like Fridays and Saturdays.
And you were still working on McDonald's at that time, so remember you saying it, weren't you?
Yeah, I was working at McDonald's, and that's kind of what paid for the makeup qualification. Because like that, the qualifications like for makeup and stuff back then was like over 3,000 euro.
Oh, really?
And stuff. Yeah. To get like a recognised one, you know. So I was using me wages from McDonald's to pay for the makeup college that I went to. Then I just got really, really busy. I don't even think I was fully finished the course, and I had like a good few clients already, you know. I just went all in with it.
Right.
I knew this was my only way.
And you were saying that you were nearly booked out before you even finished the course, weren't you?
Yeah, nearly like I had a good few clients like before even finishing, because like that I was in the course for 9 months and I went all in. I was like, I need for this to work, because to be honest with you, like 3,000, I think it was 3,500 euro it was for the course. It was either I made this work or I was screwed.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have another 3,500 grand to be paying for any more courses. So yeah, I went all in with that. Became busy. Wanted to buy me my own house. That was kind of my main goal. So I was just grafting away, doing clients on the weekends, working in McDonald's. Went into a few other little jobs after that. Once I bought the house, then I wanted to open a salon and stuff. So yeah, just kept like going.
Yeah, because I remember back then, to be honest, when you were kind of like a little bit younger, and I remember hearing you posting that you were at the buying your house, and I was like, oh my god, like fair play to her and Ross, like at the getting their own house. I actually didn't know anybody our age back then who was able to buy their own house, and then when you put that, I was like no way, like fair play.
Yeah, it was something that like did shock a lot of people.
Because even now, like buying your own house is a massive achievement, but like then at that age, that was.
I know, I think that came from sharing a bedroom with my brother and sister. So we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. So what was I? I was like 21 at that time, and sharing a bedroom with my brother and sister, like that would be murder every single day and night. So like I'd come home from work and the room would be like just upended, and then they'd be staying up late at night, and I always was kind of had like a little bit of graft in me, so I'd like to go to bed early, get up early and go to work.
Where do you think that came from? Like, did you ever?
I don't know, to be honest. I think it was, I did always like have a little bit of hustle in me since I was younger. Like going back as far as like being 10 and 11. You know, like little sales of work, like
Nice.
They'd be the things that I'd be kind of pushing my friends to kind of do. Like I'd be like, let's set up like a shop.
Oh really? Yeah.
Going
when
up to me nanny, you know.
Playing, like?
Yeah,
Right.
like, you know, setting up like genuinely on Berkeley Road, like a little sale of work.
Oh.
I'd be going up to me nannies. Have you got anything here that I can sell? Like, I was setting up a sale of work, and it was just always something that I actually enjoyed.
So you were always kind of into business, yeah?
A little bit, yeah. I don't know where it came from, because I'm the first person to come from me. Like, I have a big family, but I'm the first person to actually come from my family that had their own business.
Yeah.
And still now, like, there's nobody really else
Yeah, so it wasn't like it was already in your family and people were like, oh, here's how you do this, or you should do that, or,
Yeah, there
you
was
know, like,
none of that.
what I'm saying is, like, what you'll do for your kids. Not that even that they'll be necessarily, you'll be pushing them to be business owners or something. I'm sure you will, but they'll see you doing it, so they'll look at you and go, oh, like, me mother and my father is business owners, so.
Yeah, they will definitely have a little bit of like an upper hand there, because I was only talking about this to Ross yesterday. I was like, they're sorted. I was like, because
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
making all the mistakes.
Yes.
We're learning the hard way, but at least we have it to pass on to them if
Yeah.
that's the avenue that they want to go down.
Yes.
Do you know, because we just never had anyone that could kind of give you a bit of advice around.
Yeah, well, and especially coming from where we come from, like, you know what I mean? It's not too many people running big, huge, successful businesses and
Yeah,
the
exactly.
city
So you're just
centre and
kind of
stuff.
hustling, like, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I always had a little bit of hustle in me.
Yeah, nice. So you'd go up to your nannies and you'd just say, like, if you go around the sale or,
Yeah,
you know,
and
stuff
then it
like
kind of went on. Like, I remember me and my friend, I don't even think I've ever shared this story with anybody, but we were setting up like a little table outside the O2 when that
Nice.
was on. And we went out to, there was like a wholesaler's out on the Long Mile Road there. And we were actually looking in the newspaper, to see what was on in the O2 on
Right.
the weekends, right? So there was something like Cirque du Sol or something. I'd never even heard of it. Didn't know what it was, but when we looked into it, it was like something like a show.
Yeah, it's like acrobatics, I think it is,
Something
isn't it?
like that. I still don't
it's
even
a big
fully
show
know.
over in Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went out and we bought a load of like buckets of popcorn and candy floss, and we set up a table. But we had no idea that like you needed a license
Yeah.
or anything like this. I'll never forget it. Like, we're there and we were sold out, popcorn, candy floss gone. I'm sure people just pitied us, like we were about 12. And I remember the police came along and we were like, we had like an actual table that we were after setting up, like, so we couldn't even.
Yeah, say, like, oh.
Yeah, like it was like we were proper like selling, like, and they were just like telling us that we're not allowed to do that. Like, I'd say they pitied us as well.
But yeah, you probably just had to say it or whatever.
Yeah, just like, yeah, so I kind of always just liked to
Yeah.
kind of make me own money, I think.
Yeah, nice. It was probably just more about just making your own money and being able to kind of do what you wanted with your money as well, isn't
Exactly, like, because I used to, like, never short of anything growing up, like, had a great upbringing, but there wouldn't have been a lot of money.
Yeah,
Do you know what
of
I mean?
course, yeah.
So when it came to, like, wanting to buy me own few little bits or go out with my friends on the weekend or anything, my ma was, like, a single ma to three of us,
Yeah.
so there wouldn't have been a lot of, like,
Yeah, just extra money just lying around.
do you know,
Same
like,
as me own man, like, I'll go on the pictures around and she'd be like, oh, Ryan, you know, you
yeah,
can't just keep on coming to me every time you want to go. You know, she again, obviously at that time I probably didn't really understand, but now when I look back, I'm like, you know, she was rearing all of us on our own, and she didn't
Exactly.
have just money to be just giving us to go to the pictures or
yeah, it's
whatever,
like,
you know, so.
it's not easy. And then, like, that used to kind of, it not give you an anxiety, but like, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to be asking
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time, because I kind of not understood it, but I just didn't want to be constantly bringing that energy
Yes.
into, like, you know, like that money doesn't grow on trees,
Yeah.
like, because they didn't have it, like,
Yeah.
you can't make money, do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly,
But
yeah.
so I think it kind of did stem from that, like, not wanting to always have to ask
Yeah.
for stuff. I just liked the idea of having my own little independent
Yeah.
few bob, I suppose.
And what were you saying, like, you know, when you were starting out in business, what was kind of the struggles that you came across when you were only beginning to start out in your businesses, like?
I think it would definitely be not having anyone that
To
you can,
ask questions, like?
yeah, that you can
Okay.
turn to, do you know. So you're only dealing with professionals, like, so when you come to, like, your accounts and, like, revenue and stuff like that, you're dealing with the professionals straight on. Like, you can't ask anyone, like, what's the best way to do this, or, like, is there a better way that I should be doing this or that? Like, so you're kind of learning from mistakes only.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Like, you were just learning on the job, basically, like,
Exactly, winging it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
kind of the type of person that I won't read instructions. I'll just do it and
Yeah.
hope for the best. And then if it's wrong, I'll learn from it that way.
Yeah.
Do you
I
know?
think that's the best way to be, though, isn't it? Like, no,
Yeah.
because, like, that's what I do always say, like, the best lessons in life I learned the hard way, and I really do believe that, because I think even with me, like, someone could show me something, but I think I really learn well, especially through fighting as well. That was the way it was for me. That I had to do it to feel it and go, oh no, that's not the way, or
Exactly. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people who can kind of tell you, and I think people kind of learn by watching, listening. There's all different types of learners, but for me, I was definitely somebody who learned by doing
Doing it.
things,
Yeah. Kinesthetic kind of
yeah,
learning. Yeah.
kinesthetic,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like that's exactly like me. So there's like, if you look around at people, there's so many people out there that have like all the degrees, all the knowledge that you could possibly have, but they're not doing a lot with it. And then you have people that not overly educated, don't have that much knowledge, but they're doing more.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest misconceptions about business and being an entrepreneur and stuff is, they just think, like, if you get a degree or you get a piece of paper to say that you're qualified to do something, it doesn't actually always translate into running successful businesses.
No,
I mean, I
definitely
think,
not.
like, because even what you were saying there about, like, hustling and stuff like that, I think sometimes that can be, I can definitely think you learn it, but you just naturally seem to have it.
Yeah, I do think you can learn it, definitely. But I do think there is people that have it in them a little bit more. And I do say that as well, like, because I had it in me because I just wanted my own independence and, like, just to kind of have my own, like, money. Whereas I was like, my kids probably won't have
How
that
do you,
kind of
yeah.
hustle in them.
No, because I always do think about stuff like that as well, because I'm into business and doing stuff like that, and I always kind of think, how will I get, my daughter to see it, I don't, like, say for an example, like, I don't want this for her to see some of the stuff that I've seen. Do you know what I mean? Growing up in the city centre, like, and
Yeah.
just within my own family and stuff, some of the stuff that I've seen, I don't really think it's good for kind of anybody young to see them kind of stuff. But then I also don't want her to live a sheltered life either.
I
Do you
know.
know? Because I really believe, like, that, if you haven't been through adversity or bad times, I think then when the bad stuff happen, that's when people just shell up and kind of get run over, in
Yeah,
a
no, I
sense.
get that. And it is a hard...
So I do always think about that,
I've like kind of in me thoughts a lot lately, because I'm like, they're not going to have what I had, and there's some stuff that I don't want them to have what I had. Like, I don't want them to kind of have memories of, like, money being a like a scarcity
scarcity,
thing.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I want them to not be spoiled, but I want them to...
Yeah, like, you want them to live a good life, but then it's
Yeah, and then I'm
hard,
like,
isn't it?
yeah, and then you're looking around at people that you grew up with that just had it that little bit more handy than you, but they're probably not.
Yeah, I don't think
they're
it
not doing
translates.
much with them
Yeah.
now, like with themselves now. So you're trying to navigate through parenting like that as
Yeah.
well. You're like, oh, what is
That
the
is a
right
tough
thing?
one, That's a question that and not just about even just necessarily about money or anything, just about handling difficult situations in life.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I feel like for me, I believe sport is a really good one.
definitely.
Just because, and that's how I've, like, openly talked. Like, I don't really believe in participation medals or anything like that for kids, because in my view, that teaches that there's something wrong with failure.
Yes,
When I don't really think there's anything wrong with failure.
absolutely
Like,
not.
I think we need to embrace failure more and not look at it like, I don't look at failure like as, oh shit, I'm at the doing the, I failed at that, or I didn't win, or whatever. I just think, like, oh, this is just a way that I know now that I shouldn't do it. Now I need to try
Exactly.
a different way.
Yeah,
Do you know? I think it's kind of society is kind of, especially with kids, they don't want to hurt feelings and stuff, like, and they don't want, and I understand, like, it's not nice for kids to lose and stuff, and, but the reality of life is there has to be a winner and a loser, and
exactly.
yeah,
Like,
that's the
that's it.
reality,
Like,
like,
and the quicker you fail, like, the
Yeah.
closer you are to your win. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? The more you fail. like the more lessons you're going to learn.
I
Like
know, but it's such a crazy mindset, isn't it? The way people look at it one way or you look at it the other way. You know, I
literally,
just look at failure like I'm like, yeah, brilliant. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Like
You try it.
yeah, I swear I just don't care about it because I'm just like, so.
That's
Like I
why you're
just,
successful, though. It's
yeah,
because you look at it like that. And I do think if you allow yourself to lean into failure, lean into the results, and lean into it all. That's
yeah.
how you're going to like move the
But I
wheels
think as
forward.
well as well, because I heard you talk about this before, you know, that like, you know, I know you're somebody who doesn't really care what people think of you or
Yeah,
whatever.
never.
Because I remember you telling a story where you were saying that when you used to work in McDonald's, your friends and stuff used to go, what are you working at McDonald's for?
Yeah,
You know,
literally.
and it's like, now, I'm not saying like your friends aren't doing, and but I'm saying like, look at you now. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
no,
mean? But what I'm
definitely.
getting at is if you had cared what people thought about you while you were working at McDonald's, you never would be doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I was just always the type of person that I don't care what I have to do, and I'm still like that now. Like I do say never. Like I don't know what the future holds, and I'd never stick my nose up to any job.
Yeah,
And I just think the teenagers today
yeah.
are like, oh, I wouldn't be doing that.
It's
Like,
crazy,
they
isn't it?
want to know the hours of jobs before they take them, or I'm like, you need a job. Like, if
Yeah,
you want money, you just fucking take the job and then figure it out as you go.
yeah,
Like, you can't have,
yeah.
I don't know.
I
It's
know
just,
now because
things are changing.
yeah, no, I completely agree. But it's so funny, isn't it, that every generation thinks like that? Like, you know, I'd
Yeah,
say your ma's generation would have looked at your generation and thought, these kids are
yeah,
lazy and soft and
yeah, entitled.
yeah, yeah. But it
Yeah.
really is like, you know, I think if people just got out their own way and got out their own heads about what people think of them, because I believe like that's one of the biggest things that holds people back is that other people's perceptions of them. Like, you know, like you needed to do what you needed to do to get to where you're at.
Yeah,
But I think
exactly.
like that's why a lot of people don't end up where they want to be because they're not willing to put themselves through uncomfortable times to get there.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know?
exactly. You have to get
Yeah, like
comfortable with the uncomfortable.
yeah,
Like, you have to.
it's like,
Otherwise, you're going to stay stuck.
yeah,
Do you know? Like, I'll tell you a story. Actually, I was talking to, she was a student of mine, but she wanted to work in beauty. But she just didn't want to go through the start of like not having many clients and just, like the hard part of it.
yeah, yeah, basically, yeah.
So she got a job in, I can't remember exactly where it was now, but it was like an office job. And I just said to her, oh, great, is that what you want to do now? And she said, not really. She said, but it's a job for life. So I was like, wait, like, what do you mean? Like, it's not something that you want to do, but it's a job for life.
Yeah,
Like, you're 20.
yeah,
I think she was actually 19, but she was turning 20 that year. I was like, so you're willing to do 48 years of this job because it's a job for life. And I hear her, and she was like, it has a good pension and the health benefits and stuff. Just got me thinking. I was like, what are people like doing these things for? Like taking
yeah.
a job that they don't
I
want
think
to
like
do.
they call it like golden handcuffs, where like you're just about comfortable enough, but you're not miserable enough to want to change. Do you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Cause like
Whereas,
your soul things like, oh, there's a great pension here, and you know, like business going out and around, that's risky. You know, what if
yeah,
you know?
yeah, literally. But like when I was talking to her, it's just like, when I heard job for life, not putting down a job for life, but I'm like, it'd have to be a really, really good job for me to say, right, I'm committing my life to
Yeah,
this job. Do you
yeah,
know? But it wasn't even something that she wanted to do.
mm,
So I was like, I just think it's mad that people look at jobs for life as like the be all and end all.
mm.
And they just think, right, let's just do this job 40 hours
Like
a
what?
week.
But when she said a job for life, do you think? Like, what did you hear there? Like a corporate job? Is that what you mean by that?
She meant like the security of it. So
Right,
like,
okay,
she had a
okay.
pension scheme and
Yeah.
stuff. Now this girl is 20, like turning 20, and that was her view.
I know, but that's what society teaches you, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like when you're
I
in
was
school
scratching
and
my head by that.
yeah,
I was like, chase your passion,
yeah,
not your pension.
yeah.
And I was like, if you just focused on doing something that you're passionate about, you're going to
Trademark that, I
have,
like that. Chase your passion, but no,
yeah,
take.
chase your passion, not your pension. I was like, if you just find something that you're passionate about, something that gives you purpose in life, and you do that as your job,
Yes.
it's a job for life,
Yeah.
and it's a fulfilling job for
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I completely agree, because I really believe, like, if you do things for the right reason, the money's gonna come anyway.
Exactly, and you
Do you
won't
know?
be waiting on the next paycheck. You won't be counting down the hours
Yeah.
or the days, because it's something that
Living
gives you
miserable.
life.
Well, no, but just to many people, do you know? Because I know tons of people who slave away Monday to Friday, and then they want to forget about it all on the weekend, to go out party, stay out all weekend, and then just rinse and repeat.
And then it's Sunday night, they have the Sunday evening fear of going back into the
Yeah.
job for the 40 hours a week.
So,
It's
like, I know, but it's so crazy for me as a person, because of what way my mind works. That is hell to me.
hell.
Like, I would way rather have way less on money than do that for
So
the
would
rest of
I.
my life.
Absolutely.
You know?
Like, and if I could do anything in the world, this is what I'm doing with the Beauty Network. I want people to live a fulfilling life. I don't care about what you're earning. And I'm not like, oh, forget about what you're earning. Because obviously I'm realistic, and you
Yeah,
can't
well,
do
we
that.
all need money,
You
that's
know,
the
like,
reality,
that is the byproduct of most
Yeah.
people's happiness is
Yeah.
money, unfortunately. But don't, like, just do something that
that gives
gives
you
you purpose.
drive, yeah.
And if you have kids, don't try push your kids to do something that you think is right.
Yes.
You can try guide them.
Yeah.
If your kids have a direction that they want to go in,
Yeah.
or something that gives their life purpose, allow them to follow that.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
You know, I know it's not always easy, but there's some people saying, like, once my kids get their degree, I don't give a fuck what they do.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Like, just if your
But
kids
then,
want to do
you're
something.
more or less just saying that you just want your kids to have a degree for the sake of having a degree.
Exactly.
That's basically saying.
Yeah.
So, because if you'd say to somebody who would say that, because that is a common thing that I would hear, I mean, why do you want your kid to have that piece of paper then? If you don't care what they do after they receive that piece of paper, why do you even want them to get there in the first
Exactly.
place?
It's like they're just like, that's my job done.
Yeah.
Like, not my job done, but like they just need to go
Yeah.
through the education system. The education system is not for everyone.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like
Well,
entrepreneurs.
it's very outdated, I would say.
very,
Yeah.
very outdated.
Like, it doesn't teach you any life skills. Like, it's like, what, I've never used algebra since I left school.
Exactly.
Do
Like,
you know? Like, why were they teaching us about, like, money, for example? Like, a big one is what, like, why,
literally.
how to read a profit and loss sheet, or just
Something,
whatever,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Like life skills.
Investing. Yeah, life skills.
Accounting. Like, I know
Yeah.
you can do accountancy, but like real life accountancy, investing, even like something as easy as the theory test.
Yes.
Like, that
Yeah.
is bang
Yeah.
average, I think, that
Yeah.
could be done in schools.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's but it's just kind of the system, isn't it? Like, this.
Actually, they're just reading from the same page that was kind of written probably over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, who?
Yeah.
I think history and subjects like that are a hobby. And if you're interested in them, go and research them yourself.
Yes.
I don't think every student going through the schooling system should be examined on what they can remember from history books
Yeah.
and stuff. You know, like, focus more on the future.
Yeah, because it's basically just a memory test in a sense.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to that one day. Like, you could be just having a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make you a bad
Yeah.
person.
I know, but from being in school as well, definitely in my school, it's like, if you don't get this amount of points in the leaving cert, you're a failure.
Yeah.
They didn't never said that, but that's what they were insinuating. It's
Literally.
like, if you don't do well, and then meanwhile, all the people, well, not all the people, an overwhelming majority of people who I know, who was really successful in business,
Yeah.
never went to college. A lot of them don't even have a leaving cert.
That's not
Do
a
you know?
coincidence.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just the school is just focused on what you can remember, and it doesn't take into account anything else that you have gone for you in your life. Do you know, like your personality, your character, like nothing is like taken into account. Just what can you remember? There's a piece of paper, write it down, and that's just not for everyone, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I definitely do agree, and I think definitely like the young people like listening to this, it's important to hear that now, because I'm sure, I was only talking the other day with somebody, there's people who's 30, 40, 50 even, who still don't even know what they do, what they want to do with their life.
Yeah.
And you're going to ask like a 16, 17, 18-year-old what they want to do for the rest of their life.
Yeah, it's
I
mad.
like when I look back at what I suppose when I was like 16 and 17, I was a fighter. So like that was my dream.
Yeah,
so that was
tunnel
it
vision,
still
like.
was until I had an accident, so but that's what like I remember I used to just say openly, like I was like, I'm living my dream right now. Like I used to love when I fought, like, going to the gym every day and fighting on big shows around the world, like never made like crazy amount of money where I'm like, I'm set for life,
But you were fulfilled.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing, I never once got, I was like, obviously there was times like where I was broke up and sore from being in the gym, but I used to just love going to the gym, and I used to say that, like, I'd be like, I'm living my dream right now. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm in the process, and I'm somebody who understands like the journey is
It's
a
more
great
important.
part of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And who you become on the journey to where you want to get.
Yeah, it's
not
so
just
important.
like, I can imagine that, you're a way different person than the first business because you're at the ground so much.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's more about who you become on the way. You didn't just open the salon and then you're, successful and then you're like, this is me,
Yeah, no, I get you, yeah.
your life didn't suddenly just become this thing because you're at it doing something. I think like as well, like with some people who focus so much on getting one thing, like, there's this thing about like people getting gold medals in the Olympics and then they get depressed because they're at the achieving it and then they're kind of just going,
Where do
oh
I
well,
go
what
now?
else do I do now?
Yeah.
Where if you focus more about like on the journey,
Yeah,
and
just
that's
constantly growing.
I remember reading books about this years ago, and that's what I was like, when I was remember reading the books, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll never forget that because, we do always say like, what's the like you don't play, I assume you don't play PlayStation games or that.
No,
The boys
no.
that we playing Call of Duty or whatever, but it's like the worst part of the game is the end.
Yeah,
Do you know
because
what
it's
I mean?
over.
Because it's over and you're at the doing it.
The adrenaline
So
and all is gone.
so it's
Yeah.
like it's on the way that's the most important part of it all.
Definitely, like, and you have to enjoy the journey. Like,
Yeah, I agree,
because like that, like I just constantly when I get like I'm always kind of planning ahead. Do you know what I mean? So when I get to achieve like something that I'm working towards, I'll kind of be already planning the next thing in the pipeline. Do you know?
How do you ever kind of stay kind of? So one thing that, because I'm like exactly like you,
Always thinking ahead.
yeah. But then it's like kind of one of them things. How do you stay kind of grateful for where you're at and what you're already at doing, but without getting too ahead as well? So I remember that even going through where, through the injury and stuff, like, I'd get, like, I'd be able to move me left arm. And then
Yeah.
I'd be like, what's next? Do you know, like, I remember thinking that, like, and part of it was because I was like, oh, well, I'm going to do everything I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
But, and I remember thinking about it at the time as well. I was like hitting a thing, taking me first step or something, and everybody was jumping around, and I was like, oh, yeah,
unreal,
whatever.
like.
Do you know, like, I remember thinking that. I was like, oh, yeah, whatever, because I knew I was going to do it anyway, but you still do need to be able to kind of stop and go, no, I know you said you were going to do this, but...
Well done, you've done it. Yeah. That is
tough,
something that I
isn't it,
struggle
like?
with. Yeah. So, like, I did actually, like, I'm working on a big business project right now, and it's just, like, it's heavy at the minute, do you know what I mean? And I was like, where does this end? Like, am I constantly going to
trying
be
to chase.
chasing? But do you know what? I've agreed with myself that, yeah, you will be, because that's what you were born to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll never be able to sit and be like, right, that's it, I'm done now.
I'm content.
No, and I don't think that's what we're born to do. Like, I think everyone is born to create the life that they desire. I'm not saying don't be grateful along the way. I'm like, I'm happy, I'm grateful, but I'm never satisfied.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm
never
always
complacent.
striving to do more.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. No,
So-
I completely agree with you, because I am like that as well, you know, but I do, I am very grateful for all the good that I have in my life as well,
Yeah.
but do understand what you're saying, you know, because it's, like, sometimes I do need to slow it down and go, look, you know, you're at it doing so much already. You're still going to continue to do them things, but sometimes it's like, but I completely agree, because, you know, from what you were saying, I can see it in you as well, that you're hardwired to go,
Yeah.
brilliant, but like, let's move along.
But do you know what? I think you do need to also say, I am grateful for everything that I have in my life, because if I wasn't showing gratitude towards what I currently have, I wouldn't be attracting all of these
Yeah.
new things into my life.
Yeah,
You know, because you know yourself, you have to show gratitude towards
absolutely.
what you have, or else you're not going to get the next
Yeah.
thing. And I am always grateful.
Yeah, because it's like the law of attraction, and I could.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're not
Yeah.
obeying by the law, you're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
going to get what you think, like what's in your current visualization. Kind of.
Yeah, because I know you're big on like setting goals and stuff. You know, tell us a little bit about setting goals, like, and you know, for anybody listening, what kind of ways you go about, and what ways you recommend. You know, what steps.
So I love to set, like, if a goal has to mean something to me, like, so it literally has to be in line with like the end goal. Do you know, my end goal is, I just would love to be like financially free. When I say financially free, I was talking about this with one of my clients in the beauty network. We were having like a mentor call, and she was like, just ask me. She's like, well, what? I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to go. She was like, can you just tell me like what yours? She's like, I'd say you want to be a millionaire, do you? And I says, not necessarily. Like, my end goal is not coming down to a money figure. But I just would love to be financially free. And when I say financially free, what I mean by that is all my essential bills
Yes.
covered, my kids' essentials covered by a passive income. So that's what I'm working on at the minute now, is trying to build like a passive income. So I don't need to be worrying about having to work,
Yes.
or I can spend time with the kids, and all them essentials are covered. Then the work that I want to do is work that I'm choosing to do.
Ideally, what would that look like for you? Like, if
That's
someone
a
said,
good question.
Right.
I do definitely want to go more into the mentorship,
right,
like business mentor, life mentor, just because I want to help people live
the life that
the
they want to live.
life that they want to live, that they truly want to live. And I want my target audience would be people that think, just because they're not coming from money, or they're not coming from like a good academic background, I want to like help them people believe in themselves.
Because it's all really only a mindset thing, isn't it, really?
All mindset.
Yeah.
Literally
I think
all
people
mindset.
don't really understand that enough, you know, especially from art areas and stuff, you know. It's more just about like not being actually poor, but having a poor mindset. I feel like a lot of the time.
Like, how many times did you hear that growing up? Like, you know, money doesn't grow on trees. Like, that's kind of then, but like programmed into you, you know. And I don't, like, I'm not somebody that's hugely spiritual, or I'm not like very qualified in the mindset or anything like that, but you don't have to be. Like, we all have a mind. And
Yeah,
we
well,
all
like,
have
I
a
mean, the proof
mindset.
is in the pudding as well, and at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
with you, I mean, like, look what you're at the doing already.
And it was the best thing that I ever done, was building a life that I'm happy in. Do you know what I mean? I just want everyone to experience that. Like, I won't be pushing it in people's faces, but like, I'm like, live the life that you want. Don't be afraid of it. Don't think that you need to hold yourself back because of where you were born, or like your parents, or like what you had growing up, or your skill results. Like, you can create the life of your dreams, and like, just believe in yourself, you know. So that's what I'm kind of moving towards into, is trying to like help people see their potential and believe in themselves.
Yeah, brilliant. It's a great message, because I think, again, like, that's what holds people back, is the limit on themselves.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. We all have them, you know.
Yeah, well, like, you know, when you've been fed a certain narrative your whole life, you know, of course you're gonna believe it.
Yeah.
You know, because I know what I did until I started kind of reading books and listening to podcasts and talking to people who've been doing it. You know, that's one thing that I always say. You know, don't take advice off somebody who's not living the life that you want.
I love that. Like, and it's so
But it's
true.
so true. But
Yeah.
the way my mind works is, like, why would I ever take it? Like, I mean, for fighting and stuff, like, just to bring it back fighting, because obviously that's what I know.
Yeah.
I mean, why am I ever going to listen to somebody who doesn't fight or who's not a world champion?
Exactly.
Like, well,
But yeah, you have everyone going around like now, and they're looking, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? Like, do you think I should do that? They're asking all the wrong people, and these people are
Yeah.
just like cancelling the goal straight away. They're
Yeah.
like, no, that's a shit idea. Like, they're going to think that.
yeah,
You just need to pay attention, because even though there's loads of people knocking that goal down, that voice is going to come inside your head again and again and again. And they're the signs that you need to take from the universe. I'm not going to like go into that too much or anything, but like, you need to be aware of, like, this is the path. Like, the universe will pave the path for you, but you need to put one foot in front of the other and actually take the steps, you know?
yeah, yeah. Now it is. It's about asking for it, you know, because I be like an advocate for, you know, the law of attraction and stuff like that.
So
know.
true, like.
Like, I remember, like, years ago, just listening to, it was even before The Secret. The Secret was a big thing a couple of years ago, but I was listening to about the law of attraction way before that.
Yeah.
Now, I used to have this little audio tape in my first ever car. It was a Nissan Micra. And I actually don't even know if it was a CD. I think it was a tape. No, it was one or the other. But it was this little granny, and she was talking about, like, it was called The Money and the law of attraction. And she was talking about, like, if you start thinking about, like, abundance and stuff like that. And for a little while, I was like,
Yeah.
what she thought, you know. And
Until you
then,
do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when it all changed. And I was like, she's right.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
But I
mad.
think, like, it is a little bit early until you kind of believe and you know the science behind it and stuff like that.
And then
you
you
know?
actually bring something into your life.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I stumbled across the law of attraction and all. It was at that time when I bought my house. Like, I wasn't in a position to be buying a house or anything like that. And I remember I was just out on a jog, and I was like, how the fuck am I after doing this? Like, how am I after winging it? You know, and I actually went onto Google. ChatGPT wasn't around at that time, but I went onto Google and I was like, how can you bring something into your life if you're not in a position to do so, like, financially, you know? And all this, like, The Secret and all the, like, law of attraction and all start popping up. And that's kind of how I
Oh, right. So you
So-
weren't even conscious of this at
wasn't even conscious of
the
it.
Right.
But I had a really clear vision of
Like
me.
visualization almost?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
nice.
I done it. But doing it without being aware of it is kind of like a one-hit wonder. I think when you learn about it and you know the tools, you can use it again and again. So then I was like, right, I'm going to try do this again, like, to open up a salon. So I literally got pen to paper, got the vision real clear in my head, and within a year I had my own salon, and I done the same. I've done it for everything, to be honest, and I think we all do it unconsciously.
But you believe, yeah, but again, going back what you like to what you're saying, I think if you do it unconsciously, it's not as
It's not as
Powerful.
powerful. Yeah.
yeah,
I think when you know, like, I literally treat it now as like a little toolbox.
yeah, nice.
No, and I just
Because I do, I love, because I listen to you talking about, like, you know, give us a little kind of run through how you do go step by step by setting goals and stuff. Because I like remember you talking about it before.
So I always write down what it is I want.
Mm.
Then the most important part is
On paper?
yeah,
With a
on
pe-
paper.
yeah.
Yeah, I would write it down on paper. I don't necessarily always have to reread it all the time, because when I implant something into my head, it's there 24/7.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You
It's
think
like,
about it like a lot.
yeah, I think about it a lot. It's kind of like on my mind all the time. It's what's getting me up in the mornings. But when I write down what I want, I'd paint a crystal clear image in my head. So, like, trying to feel it as much as I can, see it. And then I write down why I want it. So the why is what I will reread when things get hard. So right now I'm just about to like have a breakthrough with a life-changing goal that I'm working on right now. It's the heaviest and most pressure I've ever felt working on a business goal, like ever. I'm like, oh my God, I'm never doing this again. I know I will when I get through it, but
You'll
I'm
say
like,
that.
never again. But like, I have to keep rereading the why. And thank God when I was setting this goal over 2 years ago, I got really fucking detailed on the why. And that's what's making me feel a little bit lighter right now.
Yeah.
When it's getting, like, you know, I'm waking up during the night and I'm like, oh my God, what am I after doing?
Yeah.
Like, is this going to be the right thing? How am I going to get through this? And I know, because now it's getting so heavy, it's just about to like push me into a whole new level of success, hopefully.
Yeah, it is, because I think like when your why is bigger than your how, you'll always find a way.
Exactly, love that one as well. Yeah.
No, it is because it's so true, you know. It's like I do that in tough times as well. Like, you know, why? Because I'd get very clear on goals, and you know, why am I doing this? You know, I have to be clear on why I am doing something. I'm not just. I never. With me in my life, I never try and do things for the sake of doing things. You know, there
Yeah.
always has to be something behind why I want to do it. You know, because I believe, personally, I believe there's a lot of people who aren't consciously in control of their life. You know, they're subconsciously just being dragged through life. You know, they've been fed a certain thing the whole life, and they grew up at 9 and come home at 5 and watch Netflix and then rinse and repeat
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
life, you
That's
know.
detrimental, isn't
Yeah,
it?
like that's the, you know, and that's, but I think there's so many people like that out there, you know, and no,
Oh, there is.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to be disrespectful saying that, because there's a lot of people who don't actually know that that's their life.
Yeah.
Do you know, like there's no fulfillment in their life.
No fulfillment. Like, say today. Now, I know everyone's after getting a little bit involved, but there's people up and they're like fully invested into this whole Beckham like
Yeah, I
stuff.
know.
And I'm like,
What, like, you know, like I haven't watched the news and God knows,
I
like
read
what?
one caption on it and then I was just like, right, that's it. Like, I
It's
haven't got
such
the
wasted
time for
energy
that.
though.
Isn't it?
Like, I mean, like what? Like, even for me, I've not read the news or listened to the news or whatever in
Allergic to
like
the
my
news.
whole life. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna say I haven't listened to it since blah blah blah. I mean, what good is me listening to somebody who's at the getting blown up in the Middle East, or
Exactly, yeah.
you know, it's just, you know, it's not gonna change my life. And
Not for the better
yeah,
anyway.
that's what I
Do you
mean. You know, when
yeah.
you're constantly attracting in all that negative, and gossip, like, you know, it's
It's like
who cares what
poison.
David Beckham and his son, and you know what I mean? It's like,
It's all bullshit.
but you know what I
anyway.
think sometimes a lot of that is, that's like, so they don't, you know, I'm not just saying it, but a lot of the time it's so people actually don't have to take accountability for their own lives.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
just-
they don't have to focus on what's actually going wrong in their own life
Yeah, yeah,
and
true.
fixing it. Do
Yeah.
you know, it's like a subconscious thing to go, oh yeah, just look at what's happening over there, so I don't have to fix my life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, getting back to the goals, me why. So I'd write down the goal, and then I do like to write down why as well. For me, like, I'm like, why do I actually want this? Is it going to be worth the time, the energy, the money that I have to put into it? And then I'll write down small action steps to move me towards the big goal. But when I say small, like weekly. And I always like, when I'm setting a goal, obviously you're excited, you're like, the momentum is high, the energy is high behind it. So then I'll always make sure to take the first little action step within 24 hours. Because I just feel like it builds momentum behind getting the wheels moving.
Not to like, would you be able to give us an example of something like that? It doesn't have to be the goal that you're working on, but just
Yeah, no, so say the goal that I'm working on, this started, so me why was because I want to be financially free by 40.
okay.
Like, I'd love to just have that amount of passive income coming in by the time I'm 40, so then I can become really selective about the work that I do. Then the first thing that I actually do, and it can be something as small as this, it was researching. So researching what is my next steps to actually get this goal started, and researching, like, as in listening to podcasts, ChatGPT, like literally just trying to gather as much information. It doesn't have to be like moving mountains in the first week. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong
Yeah, I think so
with
too,
that
yeah.
action steps. They
Yeah.
think they have to be fucking achieving the whole
Yeah.
goal in the space of a week.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, just start small.
Just start small, yeah.
Like, get emotionally involved with it. So like, I get emotionally involved with the goals that I'm setting by YouTube videos, like in relation to this goal, researching information, listening to podcasts, and then just filling me head with as much positivity from the minute I get up in the morning. Just like, if I just fill my head with positivity, you're not going to leave much room for negativity.
Yeah, I think it's so important that you do it early on in the day, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
know,
definitely. Like,
yeah.
it sets the tone
Yeah.
for your day. And that's something that I'm really passionate about with my kids. I want me kids to remember morning times and school routines and all as a place of happiness.
Yeah, no.
As it was chaos
Yeah.
in my house, you know,
Yeah,
like
same.
we roaring and shouting and like probably me, my brothers and like my brother and sister as well taking
Yeah, of
part
course,
in
of
that.
course.
But I do just want to kind of, when I get my kids up in the morning, be happy and positive. And like, you know, me and Mike are now and we're driving to school. I do say to him, like, you know, I'd be looking in the mirror at him and I say, what are we going to have today? And he'd say, we're going to have a great day.
Brilliant.
And I'd just say, why? And he'd just say, because we're not going to let anybody ruin our day. And I'd just say, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I just think you need to have that.
I know it's so important to talk to, because I talk to Casey the same way. Like, you know, I do say, if Casey doesn't think that she can be the president of the world by the time she's 10, I'm at the doing something wrong, because I speak to her exactly like that.
Yeah,
You know?
I love that.
And if people heard me talk to her, they'd be like, why are you saying that to a 4-year-old? Like, she doesn't even know what you're saying. I'm like, no, she does. She might, you know,
does.
that's all going
Yeah.
in. Because, you know, the negative stuff goes in too.
Absolutely.
know?
And we're obviously doing stuff. This is another fear that I have. I'm doing stuff that I'm not aware of because it's programmed in me that I don't want to necessarily pass on to my kids, but it's just going to happen because
Yeah.
that's just who you are.
Yeah.
You know, like I do consciously like make them like choices in the mornings and like want to make it as positive as can be.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that I do.
Well, you're human as
yeah,
well, though, isn't
exactly.
it?
Do you know, you
Do
can't have it all perfect,
Yeah.
but you can try fix
Yeah,
the
yeah,
things
no,
that you
definitely. But I
want to.
definitely believe that, you know, growing up hearing a certain message, you know, is a lot better. Like, you know, even with in my family, you know, like nobody ever owned businesses or wanted to do this or do that, you know, like
Yeah.
like my mum wanted me to stop fighting and just get a job. She was like, would you just stop doing that and just get a normal job? Like, and I'm like, Ma, I want to have an extraordinary life, and you can't do that if you're not doing extraordinary things. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I believe, you know, but obviously I just looked at the world a different way. Like, I'm of the opinion that, like, you only get one life. You know, why would you want to just do what everybody else is doing? Because if you're doing and living like everybody else, you're going to get the same results as everybody else.
And you
So
don't
how
want
can
that.
you say that you want this result and you want to live that life and you want to go here and you want to go there, but then your actions don't reflect
Exactly,
what
yeah.
you're saying?
Your actions have to reflect
Yeah,
who you want to be. It's like
Absolutely.
your habits.
yeah.
Like, are your habits aligning with where you want to go in your life?
Yeah.
More than likely, they
A lot.
don't be. Do
Yeah,
you know
a
what I
lot- a
mean?
lot of
Like
the
with a
time.
lot of people, like
Yeah. Like it's so true, because they'll say, like, you don't decide your future, your habits decide
Exactly.
your future.
Yeah. People
know.
telling you they want to run a marathon. And that's amazing. Like, I'd be delighted for them. I'd never put anyone down, but you just ask them, do you run it? Like, have you started doing any running? Ah, no, I will start though. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for the new year. And
Yeah. I know, it's mad with the New Year thing as well, isn't it? Because, like, January just doesn't become this magical time where you just fulfill
No.
all your goals. And, like, I remember thinking that back in November or something. I was like, I'm writing goals now. Why would I be waiting until 2 months?
Exactly,
Do you
yeah.
know?
I
It's
just say, like, if you're serious about wanting change, or you've just fucking had enough,
yeah,
if you have enough on a Wednesday, change on a Wednesday. Don't
Yeah.
wait until the Monday.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, just fucking change now while you feel like I've had enough of this, because that feeling might leave
I
you.
know, but that's it, isn't it? They say that you only really change when the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of changing.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
what they say, because, like, how many times do you hear people going, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then one day they just get fed up and they go, no, I'm
doing
going to
it.
do this.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had enough now. Because it's usually always the case, isn't it, where, like, people don't actually change till something really bad happens. And then
Yeah.
they're like, I actually need to change.
And cash in on that feeling when you're like, right, I need to change.
Yeah,
Don't
do
say,
it.
I'm going to fucking wait for a new year or a new month or a new week. Like, do it now.
Yeah.
Now, what you waiting for? Like, nobody is guaranteed tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Do you know? And some people live by that as well. Like, they like to take the easy route in life because they're like, well, we're not guaranteed tomorrow.
I know, but
But, like, what are you going to just go through your life? Like,
Yeah.
living unhealthy, like, not being happy just because you're not guaranteed tomorrow.
yeah, I know, it's not,
You know?
again, like, it's just going back to it, like, you just have to live a fulfilling life.
Yeah, I think it's the most important thing.
Like, because even I remember thinking, like, if someone had asked me a good couple of years ago, like, what's your main goal for life, I always would have just said to be happy. But now it's kind of more about purpose, because it's impossible to always be happy.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
Do you know, like, because
It's too
the
broad
reality
as
is,
well,
yeah,
isn't it?
because the reality is like, you're gonna have an accident, someone in your family's gonna die,
Mm-hmm.
this person's gonna get sick, so it's impossible to be always happy. But I think,
Exactly.
like, if you have purpose in your life, good, when you're having a good day or you're having a bad day, if you have the right purpose or the right why, you'll always be able to get through the day,
Yeah,
or do
very true.
anything,
Yeah, yeah.
like, where if you're just sitting around waiting to be happy,
You'd be left waiting.
yeah, yeah. So obviously you and Ross own Troy Train.
Yeah.
Like, what does fitness for you mean as, like, a family and an entrepreneur?
Fitness is a huge part of my life. I became really obsessed
And sorry,
with
by the way,
fitness.
actually, obviously I already said, but, like, Troy Train, like, I wouldn't even be sitting here if it wasn't for Troy Train, and it's done a big event for me when I was
Yeah, it's
in
a
hospital.
great
And
community.
such a good community.
It is
That's
good.
when I just see the videos and stuff, the community is, like, honestly, it's just like a magical place where everybody's just there to push and help each other.
Exactly, yeah.
And
There's zero ego. It's just everyone's just there to
yeah, it's incredible.
become better. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, just to get a good workout in. And yeah, so fitness is a huge part of our house.
Mm.
It's a huge part of my life. Love the gym. Love how it makes me feel. Yeah, just like, you should be so grateful. Like, in 2020, I got a bit of bad news, like, about a condition that I was diagnosed with. And ever since then, it's like I don't look at training as a chore anymore. It's like every training session, I genuinely do be like, I'm so grateful for that training
Yeah.
session, you know?
Yeah, because
So-
I always say, you don't have to train, you get to train.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know?
And unfortunately, like, I did used to train for losing weight or just to eat more or, stuff like that. But then, like, when I got that news, I was just like, oh my God, like, imagine I couldn't train, like, in the future. Like, I'm going to, like make sure I'm in the gym 5 days a week now, because it made me see how much I actually
Yeah.
love to move my body, you know.
Yeah, definitely, because like I think, you know, movement is freedom. You know, that was one of the biggest things for me. You know, I don't, you know, even with all the crazy stuff that's happened in my life up until the accident, I was never depressed. But I
Yeah.
think that was always because when I would feel down, I would just go to the gym, and then when I would leave the gym, I would feel great because obviously I'm getting all them endorphins from the
Yeah.
workout and stuff like that. But when I was lying in the bed, I actually just couldn't get that release that I wanted.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
can't even
so
imagine how you got
yeah, it was
through that
just
time.
like, but that's one of the things that I remember thinking, like, I'd just love to be able to get up and just move now.
Yeah,
Do you know,
something
even
that
just
you,
get out of this room for a little bit, you know. But
yeah,
I, in fairness, again, I always do give myself credit for like being grateful. I always start every day with 3 things that I'm grateful for. Even
yeah,
then, even in them days when I was lying paralysed, um, I used to wake up every day and be like, oh, well, look, I'm grateful for blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, definitely like what you're saying there, movement, you know,
Our
is,
movement is like everything. And
yeah,
like that, like when you think that it could potentially be taken away from you in the future, you're just like, I'm moving as much as I can. And if you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
use it, you
You
lose
lose
it.
it, yeah. Yeah. No, but definitely the gym is the community like in Troy Train is
Yeah, I'm actually doing a
amazing.
fitness course and all now. So I have big
Brilliant.
plans for
Yeah.
try
I see is
train
that
for.
doing high rocks classes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the busiest classes now. Will be high rocks and going to the events and stuff like that.
Is Ross into business?
Yeah, he loves business. I'd be more business driven.
Mm.
He loves business. He loves fitness,
Mm.
but he'd be just very like stable. Like, you know, he wouldn't really think ahead, like to grow the business ahead.
Like the scale and stuff.
Yeah, if I wasn't in his ear,
Mm.
do you know, like that, he'd be just like, if it's working, just leave it as it is. And I'm like,
It's not broke down, fix it.
yeah, I'm like, no, let's grow it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like let's push it like to
Yeah.
new limits. And yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. How do you like balance being a mother and bit like running the businesses as well?
Very I find it very challenging now that I have 2 kids. Learning as I go, it's getting easier as the months are going on, but definitely the biggest challenge was going from one child to 2 kids.
Right.
So how do I balance it? It's a tough one to
Yeah.
ask. But I like to just try now get me work done when they're in school.
Right.
So both of them are in creche now together. I try get the biggest bulk of work done during them hours, and then I'm free to
'Cause it's hard,
do
isn't it? Because
everything.
obviously it's all for them,
Exactly.
you know. But
yeah.
then obviously you don't want to lose sight of actually being present for them as well.
Yeah, and I
spend-
do be there a lot of the time. Like, you know, like I drop them to school every morning and I pick them up from school probably 3 or 4 days a week, which I'm so grateful for, because that's a huge win, I think. So for being a business owner, to be able to do that, I'm
Yes.
like, right, I'm winning. Like, you
Yeah.
know, to be able to actually be there to collect them most days.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like that balancing everything is
Yeah.
very tough. I can imagine, because you know, like I do always say, being a parent is the hardest job in the world. Forget about any business, I think. Especially the young kids, like
Definitely,
where they're
and
flying around.
See
But-
people that stay at home. I don't know how they do that. I'm like, I need my work to keep me sane. Like, so hats off to people that do like stay at home
yeah,
mammies, because I think that would just send me off my head.
yeah, yeah. No, it's but yeah, because kids are mad, aren't they? Like, do you know what I mean? They're just flying around and
24/7, like.
like, what's your relationship like with risk? You know, how do you manage risk, and kind of like, do you ever kind of have thoughts of like, oh, if this goes wrong or that goes wrong, or what if this happens or what if that happens?
So I'm very aware of like fear, doubt, worry, all them thoughts that come into my head about taking risks. but I always try flip them. So I notice them coming in, I let them come in. I don't try block them out completely because I just know like it's unrealistic. They are going to creep in every now and then, but I try to be aware of them and flip them to a positive.
Nice.
Do you know? So like, what if it doesn't work out? And then I'm like, no, back to your vision, like back to the visualization. This is where we're going. This, like, it is going to work out. You know, so just getting that like emotional feeling of this is going to happen. It's going to work out. Flipping the negative thoughts that's coming into them positive thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's very important that, isn't it? Not a lot of people think about it, because I think a lot of people think that very successful people, very high achieving people don't have them thoughts.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Like, you know, if I open up to people and like they'd say, oh, you wouldn't even think that you get them thoughts. But I do say, I like to, when I see them thoughts, I like to envision them in my own head as like weights. So dead weights coming down. And then when I think of like positive thoughts, I like to think of them as like a seed that's grown upwards, that's like looking fresh. And then I just say, right, they're both there, but which one are you choosing to water?
Yeah.
And then I just try to like envision watering the positive side of my head and just thinking more positively about everything, because what is the point in worrying?
I know.
It doesn't change
I
nothing.
say that to people all the time, you know, and that it does this funny meme, and they're like, anxiety, just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, that is a funny meme.
actually never
you know.
even
Yeah,
seen that,
it's so funny, but like, you know, I do say that to people, because people say that to me all the time, like, why do you not worry about stuff? And I'm like, what is worry gonna fix?
Stress
You
is
know, it
fucking...
literally does. Worry doesn't fix anything. It doesn't make anything any better. It's like, if anything, it can only send you into a downward spiral, really.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, like, my brain is just automatically, something bad happens, positive.
Yeah.
That
Whereas
is like,
what can we learn from it? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
You know, that's it. Like, it's just seeing an opportunity from the failure or the bad thing happening, because I know people would argue with you, but there's always something positive that comes from a bad situation. And, you know,
Absolutely.
it's like, sometimes even in the moment, you're like, oh, that was a really shit thing. But then when you reflect back on it, probably 3 years later, 2 years later, you're like, thank God that happened.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It is so true. I only seen somebody actually saying that on Instagram during the week. It was like, it's impossible to join the dots forward. You can only join them back. So it's only when you get through things that you're like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
You realise why it was happening for you.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yeah, I do, because I do always have that mindset, you know, because I'm a person that believes everything happens for a reason, you know. So I do always think that. I'm like, I kind of sit with myself and I go, look, this doesn't make sense in your life right now or in your head, but
It
something bigger is happening here. You
Yeah.
just aren't aware of it yet.
Yeah.
So for right now, you need to not worry. And what I say to people as well, control the controllables. You know, don't be overthinking about stuff that you can't control.
Exactly.
You know,
what
if
is the
you
point?
can't control it, why are you thinking about it?
Yeah. So
You know,
true.
control what you can control. You know, like, say for instance, just, you know, being grateful for things, writing what you're grateful for, writing your goals, eating well, getting a workout in, getting good sleep.
Yeah.
Now, they're all stuff that we can control.
Every
So why
day.
am I going to think about other things that's out of my control? That even if
Exactly.
I wanted to change, I can't.
Yeah.
Do you know?
That's why, like, when we're just talking about there are things that are in your control and things that are out of your control. With the new business project that I'm working on right now, there's still like one or two things that's out of my control. And that's why I can't like tell anyone about even my own family. I can't
Yeah.
even tell them, because I'm like, as long as there's stuff out of my control, I'm not putting myself out there for working on this.
What do you mean by that?
So like, I just feel like if there's stuff that other people need to do to get this over the line, I can't fully confidently say, like, I can fully confidently say the things
On
that I need
your
to do,
half, yes.
they're
yes.
going to be done, no
Yeah.
doubt about it. But until it's all in my control,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even fully enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? I think
Yes.
that's where a lot of the pressure is coming from as
Yeah.
well, because I'm like,
Because you can rely on you, but
Yeah.
you can't rely on other people. Like, not that you can rely on other people, but you can be let down by other people where
exactly.
I've the utmost confidence in myself.
Yeah.
And I know I'm never going to let myself down no matter how hard things get. But when it's somebody else, it's like being in a car with somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I get anxiety being in a
I
car with
know.
people. I'm
When they're
like,
driving beside trucks and all, I'd be like,
yeah, but yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It's hard to
And
let
then
that
like
go.
saying stuff when it's too early as well. I do believe like that can have like a negative effect on you getting something over the line.
With telling other people.
Yeah, like, because I feel like it adds more pressure on. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you nearly feel like you have to explain yourself to everyone if it doesn't go right the first time.
Yeah.
Like, you will get it right.
Do you
but
ever have that thing about not wanting to share goals or dreams with certain people in case like you just think like that they're gonna think they're stupid or they're too out of reach or
Kind of, yeah. Like, you
Yeah.
know, sometimes you can come across as bragging. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when you're having them
I
conversations.
know, but it's
with
only
people.
really in certain circles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you were to tell me that any of your goals right now, I could confidently say I wouldn't think like she's a
Who
head
does she
case or
think she is? I
do you
know.
But
I
I think
know.
it's because you either think that way or you don't.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, and I know we all have people who we have to be around, but I do try and limit myself who, because there is some certain people who I have in my life where I'm like, I wouldn't be fully confident in saying that I'm
Yeah.
doing this, or I think I can do this if I do that, about a business. I think I could bring a business to this. I think I could bring a podcast to this level in the world.
Yeah.
Or, because I am a very confident person and I say stuff confidently because I believe it, but there is certain people who I'd be probably like, oh, they're just going to think, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm not gonna
And it's
say that,
usually
yeah.
people who aren't up to much, to be honest, but sometimes we all have people like that in our
Yeah,
life.
exactly. And then some people as well, like, you know, they can be close to you,
Mm.
but you kind of know they're not happy for you.
Mm.
Do you know? So
Yeah.
I don't like sharing me news with like people like that, because I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, like, I don't need to. Do you know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
don't want any kind of bad energy
Yeah. So
created.
it is, isn't it? Because you have to I'd be a big person for energy. And
Yeah.
you just have to watch your energy around certain
And
people.
I'm very good at reading energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I wasn't, because I can, like, not being paranoid or anything, but you're just like, them people are not the energy that I want to be around. And
Yeah.
like, my nervous system would just feel completely off around
Yeah.
some people for no exact reason. But I'm like, I'm not ignoring it. You know, I feel.
Yeah, well, but it's important. You were saying that sometimes you don't like feeling like that, but that's very important.
Yeah,
I
I'm like,
would say.
what can I do? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like that around them people. I don't want to be around them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
I'm
my
very,
fault.
I'd be very precious with me energy and time around certain people.
Yeah.
If I just have to interact, I'll interact. But if I get any sense of, or I couldn't say this, or I couldn't, I
It's
just.
like a waste of time,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like, yeah, and
Yeah, it
who
really
wants
is.
to be wasting their bleeding
Yeah,
time at
exactly.
this stage of life?
Yeah. Have you like any daily habits or routine that in your day to day that like add to like the productivity of your day, like?
Yeah, absolutely. I have like non-negotiables
Right.
every day. So soon as I get up, I watch something positive.
Nice.
So motivational videos can be something as simple on YouTube. Like, literally just consciously turn on something positive. Don't watch any news. Listen to positive, uplifting music on the way to the crash run. Puts us all in good humour in the car. And then training.
Yeah.
So going to the gym. They're my non-negotiables that set me day up, and like, they kind of raise my frequency. And
You would do them every day, yeah?
5 days a week.
Yeah.
And then positive, either podcasts or YouTube videos, or Bob Proctor, Thinking into Results program.
Yeah.
Listen to him every morning.
Bob Proctor's the man.
It just sets you up,
Yeah.
like, and it just changes how I look at my day. And it helps me as well. Like, I don't bounce out of bed every morning, but when I get up, it does help me kind of become more positive for the day. So then when I wake the kids up, I'm in
Yeah,
a
you're
positive
already
state,
set. Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You're almost like priming yourself for.
Yeah, and then eating healthy. I'm not like, anyone that knows me knows I love me junk food, but that's where I use my discipline, and I do eat as healthy as I can, you know, because it
Yeah.
helps with everything.
Yeah, no, I definitely believe in what you're saying there about like setting yourself up for the day, you know. Like I
Yeah.
think like if you like what you're saying, I think if you're able to tick a few boxes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because as well with certain people, like, you know, they'll say, oh, like I want to do this, or, you know, my mental health isn't great at the minute, and I'd be like, okay, like, you know, what's your day look like, you know, and there's no positive things happening, or
Yeah.
eating shit food, they're not getting good sleep, you know, they might be drinking, you know, there's
They're
so
not
many.
helping
Yeah,
themselves. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I believe like if you're mentally struggling, you know, I believe you have to like tick a certain amount of boxes before you can kind of even say anything like that.
Yeah.
Like I believe, like, you know, you're getting, you know, silly things, you're getting outside, you're drinking water, enough water,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
there's just a few things that, like you're saying, the non-negotiables, I believe you should be ticking them, and then if you're ticking all them boxes and there's still something wrong, then,
Then you
you
have a
know,
problem.
yeah,
Probably, yeah. Yeah, no. I love having non-negotiables. Like,
yeah, no, it's
and
so important. Definitely like the positivity thing, you know, that's me every day. And like I'm kind of like somebody, I don't really like to waste time or energy in certain ways, you know, like even a lot of the time, even with music, like I won't always just listen to music, like I'm constantly trying to have a podcast or a book on in the car
something that's
where I'm
adding
like,
value.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, because I just get, sometimes it's not always the healthiest, but I get fixated on wasted time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I should be learning something in
I'm the
this
exact
free
same.
time, you know, like,
Yeah.
because I just feel like that if you have free time, or, you know, there's always a time in the day, like, you know, when you're driving from here to there, like that could be a time that you're listening to a book or learning something.
Learning
Do
something.
you know, now it's important to switch off. I'm not saying that you don't have to
Yeah.
live your life like a robot. We all like watching Netflix and
Yeah,
going
I
through
know.
series, but, you know, we're in reason.
Yeah, like something that blows my mind is Love Island. Like I've never watched an episode of it, and I don't know how people commit to
Yeah.
watching that. I can't believe that's on. I think every single night, 7 days a week for 8 weeks, and
Just the
people commit
conversations
that.
that there's just no substance to any of the conversations.
Nothing at all.
Do you
Like I'm
know?
just like,
It's
right,
just
like
kind of like
nothing
brain
against
rot
people
in a
that
sense.
do it, but I'm
No,
like,
no.
I'd want to be like absolutely 100% happy with every single area of my life if I'm going to sit and watch Love Island
Yeah,
for an hour every night.
yeah. I just think like there's just like, again, there's no substance to any of the conversations, and, you know, I understand for it's just easy TV, like, you know.
Yeah, and look, everyone does be talking about it, and
Yeah,
like every client that comes into my salon is like, "You're watching Love Island." I'm
and you're
like,
just like,
and I do
no.
actually feel awkward now because I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I actually never seen fucking
You're
one
you're sitting there
episode.
watching The Apprentice.
Yeah. I was like, I never watched an episode of it, like, which is like obviously a bit mad, but
Yeah, no, 100%. But I completely agree. You know, it's just there's just no, like, I'm kind of like, if I want to watch something, like, apart from obviously a film or a series, but with something like that, I'm like, I want to watch stuff that I'm interested in and that I can learn from.
yeah,
Do you
that'll
know?
add something
Like,
to
I
your
love
life. Yeah.
podcasts, and, you know, even like documentaries. You know, like again, like I do like history, so, but that nearly would be like a thing where, like, it's not really gonna change my life. I just like to
It's
know
something that
the
you're
history.
interested
Yeah,
in, so it's like an interest for you.
yeah,
Whereas history for me, I'm like, I don't really
yeah. Which
find
is
an
fair, isn't it?
interest. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Do
Like,
you know? But if someone was starting a business today, what would be like one of the first pieces of advice you would give them?
good question. So make sure that it's something that you're passionate, like that you have full purpose behind. Do you know, something that you really want to do, because there is going to be hard times ahead when you have your own business. And just make sure it's something that like fulfills you. I do say I used to work in an office job and doing makeup and all at the same time, but I used to have an awful Sunday night fear. Like, you know, like that, like, oh, the thoughts are going in here now for the rest of the week, another week of this. And just make sure that you don't have that kind of like negativity around what it is that you're doing, and it's something that you enjoy to do, because if you enjoy to do it, the money will come, because you're going to do it with pure passion.
Yeah. And there's no way that you can just keep on showing up every day with something that you love and not get better at it. It's actually impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah. Like if you're fully showing up and committing and you're like, I love doing this, I love learning about this, you know, there's no way that you won't be successful, and which will in turn you will get financially.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you know.
Like you say, like if you're unsure of what it is you want to do, find something that you would do for free.
Yeah, that's a good piece of advice.
Like if you find something that you do for free, you're going to get really fucking good at it. And it's going to create like an amazing career for you.
Yeah, so like that, because that actually is one where I was kind of thinking, like, you know, if you have kind of younger kids, like say 15, 16, 17, and they're only starting to they're on the way to leaving school, but they actually don't really know what they want to do yet fully. You know, that would kind of be.
I would say, yeah, like what is it like you love to do? Because there's something definitely in everyone's life. Now, they're probably not aware of it, that they could turn it into a career. But there's something in everyone's life that they love to do. So why don't you try focus on turning that into an income?
Yeah.
Rather than doing something that you love, that you don't love 40 hours a week. And then, like, say if it's like going to the gym or like mindset training or anything, like there's everything you can turn into a potential income.
Yeah.
Do you know, so if you just looked at what it is you enjoy to do in your free time, if you're unhappy in your job, or if you're only starting out, try do whatever it is that like you really love to do, and you to do it for free.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I completely agree, because again, it just lines up with the message of living a fulfilling life.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I definitely think is one of the most important things in life.
Absolutely.
You know, not just doing something for money, or not just doing something because, you know, that's what your family told you should do, or that's what society told you should do, or school, or whatever. Just do what you want to do.
Exactly, yeah. It's the best way to go about it.
What was like would you say is like one of the biggest mindset things that helped you in business? You know, even like a thought process or whatever.
Be prepared, like when you're growing and like working towards something new, be prepared to be hit by the terror barrier.
Right.
So like the fear, like it happens to every single person that's striving for success or working towards a new goal. It's like you come facing this like terror kind of wall where you feel like, oh, is this a sign? Like, is this not for me? Like, should I stop doing what it is I'm doing? Like, you're feeling all this pressure and like fear. But be prepared to be faced with that, and just know it's part of the process. And once you get through that.
Yeah, like if you're down yourself and stuff.
Yeah. So it happens on like, there's no person out there that's like taking big risks that's not faced with.
Yeah.
I call it the terror barrier.
Yeah.
It's actually one of Bob Proctor's like lessons that he does.
Nice.
But the terror barrier, like it's, you need to push through it. But just be prepared. Like, so just know, right, this is the terror barrier. And you nearly look at it as a thing outside of you, then it's nothing got to do with what it is you're doing. It's just something that it's inevitable. Like you're going to be faced with it.
Yeah.
So just push through
Like, did you ever kind of get like imposter syndrome at any stage?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, literally, you always just think that this thing that I'm doing, especially when I was becoming like a VTCT approved centre, I was just kept looking at myself being like, anyone that's doing this is big. They've years of experience behind them. They have huge training academies. They have like community training centres. What makes you think that you're going to be able to actually manage this? But I just didn't like, I was getting them thoughts every day, probably, especially when I was like contacting BTCT all the time and they were saying, no, no, no. But I was just like, no, I need to do this. This is like a goal that I really want to conquer.
Yeah.
And I just didn't let the imposter syndrome or the do or the no's from them stop me from just keeping doing it again and again and again.
Yeah. Do you think that was because you just wanted to achieve the goal so badly, like, and it?
Yeah, it was just something that I was like, it was just a goal that meant a lot to me. And I'm so glad now that it meant so much to me because it changed my life forever.
Yeah.
Like,
I suppose, like, again, if you don't have that why and you don't get clear on the why, then as soon as the little hurdles start coming in and them thoughts and they're creeping in, you're like, oh, do I really want this?
Yeah.
You know, but if you're so clear on the why of it, then you're like, this is all I want.
Exactly. So you don't let anything stop you. You know, like stop you in your tracks, because there is going to be a lot of things that pop up.
Yeah, a lot. It's because again, them thoughts and failure and stuff like that, it's inevitable, really.
Yeah.
It's actually, you probably wouldn't be able to do it if you didn't have failure and them kind of thoughts. They kind of, you know, to be kind of sitting there down yourself and going like, no, that's not true. Keep on pushing.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Exactly.
So
You have to.
you know, I do say, like, you know, the good times wouldn't be so good if the bad times weren't so bad. So I think, like, you need to have thoughts and, you know, them doubts where when you eventually hit the goal, you're like, oh, you know, I've done it. You know, I didn't let them thoughts win. They didn't beat me mind, you know.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it earlier, but when you're pushing through towards a goal, because you've already lived it in your head of achieving it, I think you have to live it in your head as it already achieved.
Yeah.
To get there. When you get there, then everyone else is like, oh my God, like, that's amazing, fair play to you. But you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, not that you're ungrateful for it, but it's because of that. It's because you've already seen it done.
Yes. That's it, like, and it's no
Takes
shock
away
to
the
you.
buzz a little
Yeah,
bit.
because even when I write goals like I've already done it.
You have to, don't
That's
you?
the way I write it down, like, or I want this. It's like I have this.
I have it, yeah.
Do you know, that's the way I write goals, like, you know, so I always, again, like, and I visualise me having it.
Yeah.
You know, so again, when I get what I'm looking for or I achieve that goal, it's not really a surprise to me, but it doesn't mean I'm not grateful or I'm not happy that I'm at the, you know, fulfilling what I said. That
Sometimes you can come across a little bit cocky in that sense, because you're just like, oh, it's not a big deal. When it is a big deal, and it was a big deal to you when you were setting the goal.
Yes.
Just because you're after spending so long every day working towards it, then you get there and you're just like, finally.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah,
It's done now,
yeah. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years? So what, I'll be 41. I'll be hoping that my goal of being financially free, having all my essential bills, is kind of paying for themselves. And yeah, probably just like, I'd love to
Like
be
like a lot of business. You want like almost all your businesses to be passive at that point.
Yeah, yeah. Or I'm investing into things that will create passive income, generate like a monthly income for myself without me actually having to physically work for it. So yeah, I'd love to be at that point and helping people. Like,
Do you think when you eventually hit that point, it'll be more about just kind of managing all them kind of like, say, your business portfolio at that point, as opposed to actually being in the businesses, do you think?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, like, or, you know what, who knows what the future holds, like, could be another, like, project on the line, like, and just something that, I really want to do, like, you know, and when I say, I love what I do now, but I have to do a lot of hours right now, so if I was able to do what I do now, in the future, but with less hours involved.
Yeah, because I think
like
the being financially free just gives you that option of, like, if I want to do 10 hours today, I'll do that. If I want to do one, or I don't want to do any hours today.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so just becoming like really, really selective about the work that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. No, thanks very much, Cheryl. Thanks very much for coming on,
having
and
me.
that was a great chat.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
it.
that.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, everybody.